Have you ever heard about a man named Dan Cody?
No, I don't think so.
Well, why don't I show you something about him? Oh, didn't see you there. How would you like to learn about Dan Cody? Well, the passage I've chosen to look at is located in chapter 6. More specifically, the passage that refers to Dan Cody, a wealthy man that made his nut from Montana by mining copper and other valuable metals. The start of the passage begins with the sentence, "Then he drifted back to Lake Superior, and he was still searching for something to do. On the day that Dan Cody's yacht dropped anchor in the shallows along shore," and ends with the sentence, "He was left with a singularly appropriate education. The vague contour of Jay Gatsby had filled out to the substantiality of a man." The passage is towards the end of it when Nick is telling Gatsby about his teenage, or Gatsby is telling Nick, or Nick is telling Gatsby his teenage years, and how he dropped out of college because he didn't want to be a janitor to pay for it. And it occurs before Nick stopping at Gatsby's house, surprised to see Tom there for a drink. The location of it is, when it starts, is on Lake Superior, and it takes place on Dan's yacht, called the Tuolumne. The setting can also provide to the development of Gatsby's character because it cultures him, because he gets to travel the world with Dan. Gatsby gets to see the West Indies, which is located in the beautiful Caribbean, and he also gets to go to the Barbary Coast, a group of countries in the Mediterranean. Nick is the narrator that has no influence on the story and is detached from it. Some themes that this passage follows are loyalty to his friends, loss of friends and loss of money, and working hard for money. These are the themes because Gatsby is loyal to Dan Cody, but when he dies, Gatsby gets nothing and ends up shaping him into a hard and smart worker. The passage provides good imagery, and it describes Dan's wealth. It mentions the nautical wardrobe Gatsby receives from Dan. The only figurative language that I found in this passage is when it says, "Infinite women tried to separate Dan from his money." This could suggest that maybe Dan's current wife is a gold digger and truly doesn't love him and wants to separate him from his wealth. And sound does not play a big part in the passage because there is no first person, and it's like a third person past tense of Nick telling the story. There are complex words in this passage, but they are put in simple sentences, which makes them easy to understand, like what the word is. For example, one of them elicited the brand new name. The structure of the passage is a timeline of Dan and Gatsby's experience. The first paragraph, it describes Dan Cody's life. He's a wealthy millionaire who lives on a yacht that is traveling for 5 years. And the second passage is Gatsby meets Dan Cody. Third one, they live together on a boat, and Gatsby is working for Dan. Fourth one is Dan dies and gives the money to Gatsby, but his wife, who probably is a gold digger, takes it from, does not let Gatsby get the $25,000 that Dan left him. And the last one is the impact on Gatsby's life after Dan is dead and fears down the road when Gatsby is rich and living in a mansion. Nick believes that Gatsby loved his mentor, Dan Cody, because he kept a portrait of him in his house over his bed, and that Gatsby does not drink because he saw what it could do to his friends and how it made Dan Cody hostile to be around when he was drunk. And this could mean that Gatsby did not want to drink because he saw what it did to his friends.